This is a testing for my 2D platform RPG game. So now we start with test 1, which is registering on the login page by using a username, email, password, and confirm password. We'll start with the invalid email and registration. So basically, for invalid data, it's just in the email input field. There is no @ or there is no .com in it, so that will make the registration invalid. Or there is existing users, and current existing users includes those ones which are AA, BB, Bobby, and so on. Those are the existing users for this game. So I'll first try with existing users, which is AA. So the registration is unsuccessful. There is no error message showing that it's unsuccessful, which can be improved. But however, for now, it's unsuccessful. And so I'll try for a valid email registration. I'll try with maybe Hixix. And this is test 1 for the valid email login registration, and the password is for X66. And as you can see, when the login is successful, all the data inputs in the input fields are deleted, and as you can see here in the file, there's a new text file XX, and when I click into it, you can see the username, the email is written in here, but however the password is encrypted, so it works. So now carrying on to test 2, which is logging in. So I'll log in using the email we just created, but first we'll try with the invalid email and username login. So it doesn't log in, but when we try the correct login details, that logs us into the start menu page, which works, test 2A. And for test 3, which is quit button on starting menu, I'm gonna do that the last. That's gonna shut down the application, so I'll save it to the last one. And now our test 4. Test 4 is the play button on starting menu. And yeah, I'll try clicking on the play button. And yes, when the play button is clicked, it enters the game. And now carrying on to test 5 is to try moving the player. So now I'll try moving the player with the arrow keys or the WSAD keys. So shows that the player is moving and there's no error in it, so it works. So carrying on to test 5A, which is moving diagonally, to test out the animation as well. So diagonally. So it seems that there is no problem moving in diagonal direction as well. And let's move on to test 6, which is to move the player into another game object to test if there's collisions on the map. So let's try moving into the house. So we can't go through the house, but even though the animations is still showing, but we're not moving through the house, so the collisions are working. Try for one more. So we can't go into the going through the wall or the pillar. So it's working. Or when trying to go through the villager in here, we couldn't as well. 7 is to test for the sound effect when walking. For test 7, I'm gonna leave it and combine test 7 with test 12, which is not long later, but I'll save it for test 12. So now moving on to test 8. Test 8 is to test for the player attack animation. So now if I do left click, it shows that there is the attack animation. Let's test for other 3 directions though. So there's attack animations for all 4 directions. And test 9, moving on to, is to press the exit button and try to call the pause menu. So when I press exit, the pause menu pops up, and test 10 is to try using the resume button and see if you're going to return to the game. And when I press resume, it returns to the game. And try to see here on the right hand side, when I press pause, the villager isn't moving, so it indicates that the game clock has stopped. And yes, moving on to test 11 is to select the sound menu, and so I select the sound menu, and it shows here there's 3 sliders: volume, music, and SFX, which stands for sound effects. Right now I'm going to turn up the volume in my computer to try to hear the sound of background music. So now I'll try using the volume slider. So as you may hear, when I pull the volume slider to the left, it completely shuts off the shut down the music, like overall any music in the game. And when I turn that up, I just turn the music volume down, you can hear the attack animation and the attack sound effect. And moving back to test 7, which is testing for walking sound effect. So you may hear there is a walking sound effect. Just to test for the sound effect slider, when I turn down the sound effect slider, you can hear there isn't any sound effects for attacking and walking. So it shows that the slider works as well. And for now, let's turn back up the sound for the sound effects for now, and leave the music to background music. And moving on to test 13 is to check for when the player moves into the enemy attack a chase radius, will the enemy gonna chase the player? So when entering the attack or chase radius of the log in front of me, in front of the player, you can see that the log is slowly chasing the player.